Welcome to Big Blend Radio with travel writer Linda Kissam, the food, wine, and shopping diva. All right, it is time for Diva Saturday. I know the show's name is slowly changing to Diva Saturdays. Here with Linda Kissam, food, wine, travel writer, also known as the food, wine, and shopping diva. And today she is taking us on a boating adventure. We are going to Roche Harbor in Washington. You know that Diva Linda and her husband Alan spend summers in the Pacific Northwest on their boat. And then when it gets to the fall and winter season, they head back out to Arizona. So today she's going to tell us all about beautiful Roche Harbor. She's got an article that you can check out on nationalparktraveling.com. The link is in the episode notes because she did go to a actual National Historical Park. So we're going to talk about that because Roche Harbor is in the San Juan Islands, which we've covered a little bit over the years, but it's so cool to get personal stories of someone's adventure there. So how are you doing, Diva Linda?
Doing fine, except that we had to cut our Canadian cruising short because we ran out of an alternator and a generator at the same time within a week of each. So that means that we limped back, unfortunately, to Tacoma, Washington. We hope that we can get this stuff fixed. It's not as easy as you might think. And it's kind of like we're talking today about when your coffee pot goes out, what do you do? Do you take it apart or do you buy a new one? So we're sort of looking at that, not the coffee pot of the boat. But anyway, so.
Yeah, there's a big price difference, I'm just going to say.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But so anyway, boating is an interesting hobby. It's my husband's hobby. And sometimes it goes really well. And sometimes you have, things that go wrong in a house. You're just in a house and people come and repair things where you are. But if you go, like we do, to Canada, it's a whole new ballgame. It feels so much like the U.S. that you think it's going to be like the U.S. But when you're cruising out in the San Juan Islands, services, markets, things like that are just not the same. And that's why you go. You go for change. You go to see other things. So anyway, right now we are back in Tacoma waiting for the repairman to come and figure out why we keep. I think this is like our third generator or third something or other. Yeah, so something's wrong with the wiring. That's not uncommon in a boat. But let's talk about what we did get to do, which was we went to Roche Harbor. And Roche Harbor, over the years we usually go once a year. I think it's one of the nicest destinations we go to. It starts, if you're a boater, it starts with how they handle you when you come into the harbor. So when you are approaching the harbor, you've already made a reservation to be in the boat. In the thing in the summer, it's crucial to make a reservation, not just show up, so you can get a slip. So the first thing you have to call them: are they polite? Are they helping you? Are they understaffed and not doing all the things they need to do? Roche Harbor consistently over the years has been an excellent destination. So we've got a big boat. I mean, we do have a big boat. So when you're coming in, you got to dodge all the other boats. And then you got to make this turn to get in your slip. And you may be sharing a slip with somebody. So you got to avoid bouncing into them. The wind, the boat it's not a sailboat, but the wind can make a difference. You might go here, you might go there, whatever. So the vacation part starts when the dock crew meets you to help you get in safely. And generally, when you go into different ports, they only send one person out. Well, Roche Harbor sends 3. So it's a pretty good, it's going to have a pretty good chance of an excellent docking, no problems, no drifting, all that kind of stuff. So that starts your vacation.
Okay, wait, I need them for parallel parking.
Yes.
And right? Because, we're in the Kansas City region right now. And I try to parallel park in the downtown. And of course, it's in the capital city. And there's all these people around and it's lunch hour. And and then where I was trying to parallel park, that was a no-no. So I had to learn. And so, it's like honking and rush hour and I'm going around in circles and Nancy's like, just get past this. We'll have to come back when it's quieter. And I'm like, I don't know when it's going to not be, go around and around. And I'm like, this is bad. But for some reason in Mexico, I can parallel park. I don't know if it's just like, if you don't get it done, you're going to get hit, by another car. So somehow I'm able to do it. But then it's like suddenly capital cities, I get weird. So I need a docking crew. I also need a docking crew for Roombas, the little vacuum thing, because you think you can put it back on. No, it has its own docking procedure, and it's never, it's like back, forth, back, forth. I'm like, let me just put you back. No. So so I'm just saying, Roche Harbor dockmen, your services are needed all across
Really?
the
Especially since, I hurt my leg and I can't get off the boat anymore
Oh,
quickly.
yeah.
So, and like you say, that just like the Roomba, my husband has his own way of docking the boat, and it has to do with the ropes that you give to these people to tie you to the dock. So he has a certain way that he was taught, I guess. And then the dock people have gone through extensive training, but it may not be the exact same way that you want them to do it. So you're sort of guiding this big 50-foot boat in, and they want to grab, there's 3 ropes that they have to grab: front, middle, back. And some of them have been taught to grab the front one. Now, I want you to think it's just like a car, except that it's sliding. So if they pull the front rope in too hard, the back goes out. If there's somebody next to you, you're going to whack them. So he always wants them to do the middle line. And then they sort of give the look like, who would do the middle line? But it's about a car. Are you going to pull the front or the back first? No, you're going to pull the middle first. And anyway, that's the docking thing. And you're right.
Wow.
They have their
But
own
that's
way.
50 feet is pretty darn, like when I think about RVs, that's like a big RV size.
Actually, about 52, 53, I think.
That's bigger than aren't they like 35, 40 feet, 45?
Yeah. And that's what these docks and these marinas were built for, is 40 and under, and 40 would be big. So they've tried to, all these places have tried to accommodate the bigger boats. And sometimes they do a good job, sometimes they don't. They haven't built it right or whatever. Anyway, the docking is perfect there. It's lovely. We love it. All the kids are there. You give them a tip. And so you have to start out when you're going on the boat. Besides putting all the supplies in, you have to get a bunch of $5 bills and put it in a drawer. So you have to give, $5 to whoever is helping you. So if there's 3 of them, that's $15.
Okay, so have your tip jar ready.
Yeah, and so to dock and to have a place in their marina, it can be up to $220 a night.
Okay.
So it can be very expensive. Again, I think the least we pay is $135 a night. I don't know what Roche Harbor is, but I think it's right there in the middle.
You're not doing this for a more cost-effective alternative to a hotel.
It is exactly that. And and that's why a lot of people don't park their boats in the marina, moor their boats in the marina. They do what's called being on the hook. So they're outside the marina in the general waters, and you put your hook down and you are just there, and they take the small skiffs in, the little boats in to enjoy the marina. So, but for us, for the issue with my leg and stuff at this point, if I want to go see something, we're pretty much going to have to go in. So anyway, you get in. And I also like the fact that in this marina, getting to where all the fun is takes a very short time.
Okay, can I back up just one other weird question? I know we've gone through this last year about your, the whole world of boating. Okay, because I'm thinking, this is an RV that sails. Okay.
Yes.
It is. So the people that are, I'm going to say, boondocking out in the water, right?
Yeah.
So there's the boondockers that are water dockers. Okay, we'll do water dockers. And then you have the people with the slips. Okay, which you're doing the slips. Now, do both have a way to get rid of their waste? I'm sorry to go right there, but this is a good question.
It's a very good question. And Canada is interesting. Canada is less restrictive than the US, but every dock, every marina has their own rules. And generally it says, you must put your waste in your own tank and do not discharge it at all for any reason in our marina. Okay. So if you have to discharge, we will send a boat over to that if your tank is too full, we have somebody that will come in and take that waste, which costs you, I think, about $50.
And the tip.
Yes. And so, no, you cannot, it all has to be contained in containers. So that, but then there are, this will sort of freak you out, but then there are rules both in the US and Canada about what you can do with your waste in your tank when you're out in the open sea part. Some places will let you discharge just into the ocean, and others will say, nope, you got to find a legal place to go and do a holding tank kind of thing. So,
Okay.
it just depends. But most marinas say absolutely put your waste in your own tank.
Okay.
Spill of any kind, they're on you. There are massive, both in the US and Canada, massive tickets for that. You don't want to get involved in that.
Well, I find this fascinating because it is a thing, even for RVers. Like, and now water, that's a thing too. So you have to have enough water too, not just your
That's a good
balance.
question.
So this is like a
Oh,
weight thing also
this
for
is
the boat.
Yes, and so it's a good question about water. So when you're in the US, so some boats have their own water makers, and that's really the best way to go. You just make your own water from the seawater or
What?
whatever.
And then you're really glad about no shapoopy in the water.
That's right. So yeah, yeah. And so that's how if you're going to be big boaters and you're going to go to Alaska from the US and you're going to be on the hook uh for a week someplace where there's no docking and stuff, you have to have water. You have to have drinking water, you have to have poop water, you have to have all this water. So a lot of people have water makers. They're about $8,000. Other people do not. They put big jugs of water all over the boat and then pour it into the water tank as they go along. And others, so it's not so hard in the US to find a place to get water. It is very difficult in Canada, in most of the places where we go. Islands, many of the islands are just dry. So they actually bring in their own water for their own people and stuff. But when you dock there, they say no water.
Well, yeah, it makes sense.
That can be very scary if you're not paying attention. And all of a sudden you look at your tank, you're out in the middle of nowhere and there's not going to be any water, or you're really low. So, you have choice. These are choices you have to make. These are expenses you have to do. It'd be just like an RV. If you don't have the water that you need for cooking and all that kind of stuff and drinking and blah blah blah, you gotta find a place to go. And when you're sailing, it can be
Yeah.
I just say a water maker is the way to go if you can afford it. That's what you
Yeah,
gotta do.
that makes sense. I mean, and if anything gets wonky in the world, at least you have a water maker. That's like a safe.
You just sail away. That's
If
right.
you
And
sail, get some solar, you're good.
we have solar. We have
Oh
solar
yeah.
on our boat. Yeah. And it
Uh-huh.
was a good thing we did, because when the generator and the other thing, alternator, went out, it was our solar that actually helped us get back.
Wow, this is so fascinating. And then you've got Starlink. Look at how you're able to do these podcasts. And I know it's changed over the years too.
Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing what we can do. To be traipsing around the world. It's
Crazy. It could be
yeah.
anywhere. Starlink has just revolutionized doing business, I guess.
Yeah.
Now, some people, of course, say I'm on vacation and I don't want any of that, but it, I would say, as I look out on the marina, almost 80% have Starlink now.
All the van people are doing it. I mean, it's so funny. You remember when we started our Love Your Parks tour, the Spirit of America tour back in the day, right? And we told people, yes, it's a 5-year thing, because people would look at us like, what are you doing? Especially our age, they expect us to be, way younger. But we knew deep down, we'll see how it goes, but we kind of knew this is just who we are. And now digital nomads is a term. People are living in vans and buses,
Absolutely.
This is once, I mean, and it's the internet that made it happen. I mean, we did this without the internet when Nancy did her tour in South Africa, and we thought fax machines were the biggest thing ever.
Oh,
And
God, I
being
love
able
them.
to deposit money when she made, cash from the paintings, we were able to deposit money into the bank even at night. We were like, there's a deposit. That was a big deal back in the day. And now apparently we have pizza vending machines. So the world has changed.
Really changed. I remember doing one of these podcasts with you back in the day and trying to find internet, right? And the only internet was in the middle of kind of a channel in the San Juans. and it's centered. It was just centered. It wasn't where you could pull your boat over or whatever. We had to go in a circle. We kept going in a circle to make sure we had the internet for that particular podcast. And the Coast Guard, Alan, out while we're talking, the Coast Guard said, "Are you in trouble? Is there something wrong?" And, "No, she's on the radio. She's trying to do a story." And then, "Oh, okay, just make sure, you're careful because people are not understanding why you're circling the waters."
Circling around Jaws, the shark is just sitting.
Kind of looks kind of weird, but nowadays just go where you want to go.
Well, this, and I know this is a derailment from Roche Harbor, but it's not, because I want people to understand when you talk about your experience coming in from a boater, like what are the amenities? It's different than us just driving into Roche Harbor and going to Roche Harbor. This is a little different. So you're covering it for both sides for people that are looking that do boating, because it's a huge thing. It's not, this is something a lot of people do.
Yeah, and in Washington especially, the ferry system is unbelievably wonderful, and that's how you can get from island to island via the ferry. You can take your car on the ferry, or you can just walk on and off the ferry. So, to go to Roche Harbor, you have to go to, I think it's Friday Harbor, and take a bus, which is about 30 minutes into Roche Harbor. You can drive your car into Roche Harbor if that's what you want to do, or you can bring your boat into Roche Harbor. So there are many ways to get to Roche Harbor, as there are in all the San Juans. Pretty much you can take your car, or you can go by ferry. The ferry is a beautiful way. I encourage everybody to take a ferry or two. It's just a different experience. You would think, oh, what could be fun about it? But it's absolutely wonderful how these boats go from island to island and really give you an opportunity to see things that you might not see. You can go to some islands that don't allow cars, they're just walking or whatever. So I think electric cars will probably change all of that eventually. So anyway,
It's
when
getting
you go
interesting. Yeah. Let's do Roche, because you went to Gardens, a historical park.
Yeah, so from where you moor the boat to where all the action is about a 2 or 3 minute walk. As with all islands and docking in all marinas, you have to deal with the ramps. So island is up here, your boat's down here. There's a ramp that connects generally where the boats are up to where the marina fun is. And you just have to watch it, because sometimes those ramps, they go up and down with the tide, and they can be like, and I'm serious about like this, or they can be way down and be like that. And I see this time, which I thought was interesting. This is the first time I've seen this. I think because probably their population is getting a little older. That's my guess. But anyway, they have electric golf carts that can come and get you. And so that you don't have to climb up. I mean, these things are steep. I mean, really, you got to hold with both hands to get up. So they'll send a cart for you, and they'll drive you up there, up to where the fun is, where the gardens are, which is just behind you. You can see where the boats are. They're all down. So this is up. Yeah. And so now they have golf carts. The little guys come and get you. They have golf carts for people who have, it's very interesting. If you arrived by ferry and then you came to the marina, or even if you parked in the parking lot, you've got to get that luggage down someplace, right? So if let's say that you're a person who's going to join somebody on a boat, or your boat is moored there permanently, think about trying to get all that luggage from one place to another. Now they have these carts that take everybody everywhere. You don't have to worry about anything. It's all taken. That's the magic of this place. Pretty much everything has been thought out well, and it's
just even getting groceries.
Oh, oh my God, the groceries. So they have a wonderful grocery store there. Okay, so you do not get supermarkets in these places. You get groceries, little bodega type things, and this one is really well stocked for the stuff that we like anyway. And so you can get your beer, you can get your oatmeal, you can get your a tiny bit of produce, you can get syrup. Think about the things you need in a normal household. When you are on a boat, you start well, stock up what you need, but in about a month,
it's like, where's my salsa?
Where's my salsa is exactly right. And of course, how long does produce last? A week?
Yeah.
2, if you found the secret of how to make them. And then you have tiny refrigerators, not big ones. And so it's all a game. It's just, you just have to, so anyway, Roche Harbor is a wonderful place to replace your stuff that you're missing. And they even have my favorite chocolate, which is Seattle. It's a Seattle brand.
Oh,
And the damn stuff now is like $30. It's like See's candy. It's like $30 a pound. But anyway, they had that. That makes me happy. So there's where you can go to the grocery store.
is it like Anacortes had a nice grocery store?
Oh, they were so smart. They built it right across the street from the marina. So
Right. That was the first place.
yeah,
Yep.
they allow you to take the shopping carts down and then you just put them in one place and then they come and get them. Yeah, these places are very sophisticated about that now. I think we've been doing this boating now, got 10 years or something, and 2 different boats. So Rush Harbor has 2 great restaurants right there, 2 to 5 minutes from your boat. And one is made for families. And the whole focus, though, everybody should know, is on fish.
Oh,
So if you're, I think you could struggle a bit perhaps if you have children or something that haven't learned to eat fish yet. But I see a little bit more choices than before. But, most people think you're there at a harbor. What do you eat at a harbor? You eat fish. So anyway, it's the wonderful fish and chips and other things like that. So there's wonderful, and honest to God, you can only get them here. They're called famous donuts, and they're made daily. And they only make about 4 or 5 varieties. They have chocolate with sprinkles, vanilla with vanilla sprinkles. I think that's it. So
wow.
4 kinds. That'd be 4 kinds. Then they have this cookie that's called the everything cookie. It's the best ever in the world. So anyway, this is something special. It's very interesting. You can't get these damn donuts anywhere else, I guess, because they're made in Roche Harbor, and that
Wow.
is just amazing. There's an espresso bar. It's a coffee cart kind of thing, and it's wonderful.
So
And
basically, everything is like really quality, and yet this is like it's a trek to get there, but it's special. So they've kept the integrity of place through this.
They really have. The sense of place here is really special, and they have a restaurant pretty much for adults, and that has an interesting.
Yay. No, I'm not anti-kids, but there's times.
Yeah, interesting take on how to prepare the fish. And some years I go there and I go, God, what were they thinking? And then other years I go there, I thought this is quite wonderful. So this year was quite wonderful. But I think the most important thing for me is these gardens. So the gardens have been in there since 1900, I think. And
wow.
They are manicured. I mean, this harbor used to be a maker of lime. Everything you see.
Lime kilns.
Lime kilns, that's right. And so they're no longer there, but they do a salute all the time to that. You'll see murals about it, and you'll see this about it and that about it. And
nice.
So anyway, these gardens have been here a long time. Really, the Victoria Gardens, Bouchard Gardens, have a very interesting quality. It's in Victoria, and it's just the way things are manicured and green, and you can just look behind you and see.
Yeah, this is attention to detail, really.
Allow you to walk everywhere, and they have places to sit. It's not huge, I'll tell you that. It's not huge, but there's a church there that has a reflection garden, so you can sit in the reflection garden if you like. So the gardens, I think, are very special, and I love going there, and I'm just amazed at what they plant and how it looks. And the symmetry of it works really well for me. I love wild English gardens, but I also love whatever this is. And this is symmetry. It's just wonderful. So you can spend some time in the gardens and not do anything. You can just sit there. And of course, everything has a view. You're looking right from the gardens behind you, right out into the harbor, which, if you just visiting and you're not on a boat, the harbor is very exciting, and all the boats are in there and stuff. And there's a fish market, only fish and raw fish, and you can go get that. And then, that's really, really great. And the store doesn't try to compete by bringing in their own fish or whatever. They take.
Oh, so it's really like boat to table. That's really cool. Or boat to kitchen. Now, the San Juan Islands National Historical Park, that you're saying that's great if you want to go hiking, but also has the history of the lime kilns and all of that kind of part too, and military history. Because this
Military,
area
yeah.
is huge on military history.
And so if you can hike, the trails start right next to the market. We took the furthest we went into it this year was to take our dog to run. And just even the start of it is wonderful. And the trail tends to stay where you look at the water, but it's a big hike. You have to plan yourself out and you're going to see wonderful, amazing things. I think next year I'm going to do probably an article on the actual walking in the park. And then of course, on the other side is about a 5 to 10 minute walk easy over to the sculpture park. So the sculpture park is very, very interesting. Washington tends to have a bunch of sculpture parks throughout it, but none is like this. So you just walk over there. There's no fee. You just go in. But I will tell you this: flat shoes, long pants. This is a natural setting. There's no there's no spraying of anything going on here. It's all about the sculpture. And so insects, natural insects that bite. For sure, I went there. I went in shorts. I'll never forgive myself for that one. And sort of diva shoes. That was stupid. So anyway, that was before I figured this all out. Anyway, so, flat shoes, closed-toed, actually, is much better than sandals. And no fee to get in. There's no docents or anything, which I think they should be doing, but that's my opinion. And there's a little hut you can go into and get some information. And then you just walk around and look at all the installations. And some are permanent, some are not. And that's pretty much, I think, the plan with sculpture parks is that they buy some stuff and it sits there. And then other sculptors make these big things, these big pieces of art, and they don't know what to do with them. So they lend them, if they can't sell them, to different parks and they sort of rotate around. And then sometimes somebody from Japan or something will see them and they think they're quite wonderful and ask, can you ship it over to us or whatever? So I think that's a real kind of global thing. And so it's, if you want to, you'll spend an hour at least there. And once again, you can see the water. It's near they have a little baby airport. So it's right next to the baby airport. And airplanes are huge in the San Juans, if people don't know. So almost every marina has a section for seaplanes.
Wow. So I wonder if people go to Alaska on a seaplane from there. I have no clue.
Yes, I don't know. These are seaplanes are hoppers, so they hop from island to island, or they'll bring you in from downtown Seattle, and they're noisy, and it's interesting to watch. And now remember I told you about the people outside of the marina on the hook. Those planes have to navigate from up here. Boats are all over. They got to figure out how to land water and get into the marina. Now, some marinas have given them a path so when you're going in the area, there'll be signs that say this is a path for planes or whatever. Don't moor here. Now, how many people do you think pay attention to that?
Yeah, right.
So it's interesting to see these guys try to land and try to take off, and they have to dodge boats because for some reason somebody's not paying attention or they're mad at the planes. I've seen it all. I mean, it's absolutely great. And they're noisy, but they serve a purpose. So that's okay.
So do you sit back and pour a glass of wine and go, okay, I'm watching this?
I go up on the top and say, how many dodging are they going to have?
I'd be placing bets with Nancy if it was us.
Our first years, we parked close to where the plane path was, designated plane path. You don't ever want to do that, but it's so noisy that when it's coming in, you think it's going to hit you. And if you're close enough, it might, it's best to dodge stuff.
Well, and this is, you get experience, and it's interesting hearing about the timeline of all of these adventures and how you've grown with it, and changed with it. So speaking of noise, your little doggy had to run in the closet because you heard a big kaboom. So is this every night in Roche Harbor, they do a big cannon kaboom and a ceremony? Every night. Every Saturday night. Every Saturday.
Every night.
Every night they go kaboom.
Every night. We thought Saturdays. No, every night. And if you're brand new, which we were at one point, of course, and I'm downstairs doing laundry at sunset, putting stuff away and so forth. And boom. And I thought there was a big crash. Sometimes people slide into each other or whatever. And no, it's this cannon. This cannon is so loud. So it's a patriotic half-hour program. Starts at sunset. It starts with national music, all the things that the anthems, everything. And it just sort of walks through a community salute to America. And the final thing that they do is this big cannon thing. Now, I was looking for the cannon. Used to be outside. I think the deck is not as good as it used to be. So somehow they put it in right next to the fuel dock, which worries me. They put it in a planter. All right, so it went from way up here to a planter. And I just happened to, one of the people that's helping us get gas, I said, well, where's the cannon? I need a picture of the cannon. He said, oh, you moved the cannon and now look right there. You can see it. It's right there and all the ivy and all that. And I thought, well, I don't have time to do this. Maybe next time I will get pictures of this thing. And they fuel it every night. It has to have gunpowder and like in the old fashioned way and so forth. And it's quite the program. And then after it's all over, music, cannon stuff, singing, the boats.
Okay.
But we didn't know that either. First, they blast us with the cannon. And we think we're going to die. And then at the last part, you think something went wrong because all the boats.
Then you think it's a funeral.
Oh my gosh, they were being bombed or something. Yeah, that wasn't a cannon, or maybe it was. I don't know. So so that's half hour every single night. And if you're out on the hook outside, you can hear it all. If you're in their harbor, you can hear it all. And then in the marina, you can, of course, really hear it. Something. I think it's very nice to be patriotic. I think
we're celebrating 250 years of America. So I think,
we'll have two. Maybe we'll have two big booms. I don't know, but it's a big honking.
I have filmed a Civil War reenactment.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Even a tripod moves. And I'm sitting there going, okay, I won't jump. Don't touch the camera. Just let it go. Yeah. The camera jumps no matter whether, I mean, it was in Yuma, Arizona. And I'm like, this is crazy. How did when you think about warfare through cannon, and you're there and you're looking at it, it's like, okay, so the reenactments to me really get us to understand where we were, where we've come, and hopefully we don't go back to that. I'm not into that, but
that at all. Yeah.
But what an experience. I think that's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Yeah, so from start to finish, it's all very nice. When we were there this time, they were doing a switchover, you'll love this, to a new system. And when you do a new system, some stuff comes over, some stuff doesn't, some get lost. So all of our information that they've had for 10 years or so wasn't in the computer. And they kept saying, but we don't know who you are, because once you're there, they take all your information, the boat, all the information about your boat, how big is it, how old is it, blah, blah, blah. They're trying to protect themselves. So then you have to, we had to sit and go over all that information again. But when you do a new system, just like we were talking earlier before the program, change is inevitable, right? And there's so much that can be done now with the AI and so forth. So it'll be interesting to see what else comes up. So I think we're in the system. It's much easier when you're in the system because they're not.
This is more than like pulling it into a hotel and giving them your license.
No. I'm telling you, boats are dangerous. Yeah. Because you slide, the wind slides, and you have people helping you that may not have all the experience they should, and maybe you're not paying attention or whatever. But this is a challenge. This is a big challenge every time. And I liked Roche Harbor. I think it's beautiful.
Did you go to the spa?
I have been to the spa. Yes, I have. It is fabulous. It is wonderful.
Diva approved spa. That's a big deal.
Yes, it's not all that expensive. You might think it would be, but it's up there with all the other good spas, right?
Okay.
It's a very nice experience, and it's very hard to get in. So if you're going to go, look it up online, see what you want to do. I'm warning you right now, you can't walk in. You can't walk in like on day one and call them up and say, I'd like to come on day two. That also doesn't work. You're very, very busy, especially during the summertime, of course. But it's well worth it. Loved it. beautiful. I love the smell of the spa, don't you? I just love it. It's
Nice and calming. And you're at the ocean too, with flowers.
a dog park.
Oh, well.
Dog park, but it's hard to get to. You can walk it, but it's steep. It's like this. It's like a big hill that you have to go up to. But the dog loves it. We found that she likes running in the park too. So anyway, dogs are welcome. You can shop. There's 2 or 3 beautiful, like boutique, wonderful stores that you can go to. They have wonderful home goods and stuff, and there's a place for clothing. So it's not a big strip mall. There's an outdoor artist walk that you can go through, and that's wonderful. Every year it changes. People come in, people come out. But that's an everyday thing. So you don't have to, it's not like Tuesday and Wednesday. They're so busy that during the summer, they have all the time. It's quite wonderful.
Very nice.
Find lots of nice, interesting pieces, and some are, you sort of get swept up when you're on a boat or when you're vacationing in the San Juans with the starfish.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I like that. That's cute. And it sparkles.
So
she's got a nice star. For those who are listening, she's got a wonderful shirt with a starfish on it, and it sparkles. Very nice. Very nice. Well, I love starfish.
I love jellyfish. There's lots of jellyfish, and I just love jellyfish. And if you try to find out information about them, there's not a lot of research that's been done on them. They really don't know why they do what they do, but they do know that some of their parts can be harvested for helping brains and stuff like that, our brains. I don't like to hear that, but it's lovely to see them as they float, and they just don't worry about anything. It sort of reminds you, just relax, just relax on this stuff. And it's quite wonderful. Yeah. Anyway, so I like starfish. There's all point being, there can be a lot of jewelry and so forth that honor the starfish, the jellyfish, the dolphins, the orcas. I mean, you name it, they're here. And so you can get jewelry like that, or just nothing that has to do with sea life and whatever. So there's about 7 or 8. So it's not large, but it's worthy. It's a worthy place for you to go.
All right. Well, Diva Linda, it's always fun to hear about your adventures at sea. Seriously, this is awesome. So thanks so much, everyone. Again, the link to Diva Linda's article is in the episode notes, or just go to nationalparktraveling.com and put in Roche Harbor, and that's ROCHE, Roche Harbor. And thank you all. I will be back next month with more Diva Linda adventures. So stay tuned. Thanks, Diva Linda. Happy sailing.
Thank you. We can never get out of here. Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you for listening to Big Blend Radio with travel writer Linda Kissam. Keep up with Linda at allingoodtaste.info. You can read her articles in Big Blend magazines and keep up with us at bigblendradio.com.